Hey, what's going on? You know who it is. You know what it is. All right, man. Keith Thurman did a recent interview. I think it was with Fight Hype, and he touched on a lot of subjects, including Mikey Garcia, his return to the ring, and fighting other people at 147. Now, I'm not going verbatim. I'm just, paraphrasing and basically trying to break down what Keith Thurman was saying in regards to Mikey Garcia. He thinks Mikey Garcia is too small for 147. He doesn't see Mikey Garcia having any success at 147. I'll get to that in a minute, my honest thoughts on that. Then he talked about basically, I think he had a elbow injury. If any of you guys know what part of his body he had surgery on, let me know. I really don't be paying attention to that type of shit, to be honest with you. I'm just keeping it 100. When a fighter says he had surgery, I just leave it at that. I don't really go into detail of what happened to him and all that type of shit because of the fake surgery Manny Pacquiao allegedly had when he got badly beaten by Floyd Mayweather. So I really just don't pay attention to that shit. But anyway, Keith Thurman, to a certain degree, he has the Mac Dre syndrome. He's feeling himself. You could just tell in that interview, basically, he was saying everybody got to wait their turn and, they're going to pick the right opponents in the right fights and all that type of shit. So, we'll see what happens with Keith Thurman. If I'm not mistaken, Keith Thurman is supposed to return to the ring sometime in January against Chris Algieri. Allegedly, nothing's, set in stone, but allegedly, they're talking about Keith Thurman versus Chris Algieri. Now, as far as his thoughts on whether Mikey Garcia could, make it and function at 147, well, that remains to be seen. Mikey Garcia, he's a very talented and he's a very special fighter. Mikey Garcia is the type of dude, he has tremendous confidence in himself. He believes he could beat anybody, and that's good to see. And that's great for him, because to me, a fight that probably and most likely should happen is him versus Terrence Crawford. Keep in mind, it can be a big fight because Terrence Crawford allegedly beat Mikey Garcia in the amateurs twice. So that'll be a good fight, highly anticipated fight. If they can. Everybody is on the same page. The promotional companies and all that type of shit can get they act together and try to make this fight. That will be a very intriguing fight at 147. Terrence Crawford has already said he is willing to fight Mikey Garcia, and he says the fight has to be at 147. So we'll see what happens. Now, keep in mind, to be fair to Mikey Garcia was willing to jump up 3 weight classes to fight Miguel Cotto at 154. So whether he would have had success or not, that remains to be seen. But he was willing to do it. And he seems sincere when he says he's willing to fight at 147. So we will see what happens down the line. But as far as Keith Thurman go, like I said, he has the Mac Dre syndrome. He is feeling himself a little too much. To a certain degree, that could be good. To a certain degree, it's bad, because it's just certain type of opponents we want to see Keith Thurman fight now, because he's at a level where he needs to fight certain type of guys to solidify himself as, a legit pound-for-pound boxer. Most people have Keith Thurman somewhere in their pound-for-pound list, so he's considered a pound-for-pound fighter. That's fact. Most people with common sense. Now, we all know the pound-for-pound list is pretty much, whatever, mythical, whatever you want to call it, but most people with common sense who really know boxing would have Keith Thurman probably in a top 10 pound for pound list. So it is what it is, man. I'm out.